Well, that was Sonia Gandhi's political advisor. Ahmed Patel spoke to me just a while back. That's very, very interesting. Was that convincing? R Venkatesh, let's go straight to the debate. We have, by the way, to all the viewers tonight, coming up at 10 p.m. tonight as part of our continuing investigation into the biggest single defense scam this country has ever seen, which is the Augusta scam. At 10 p.m. tonight, we are unraveling 100 papers, and that will tell you a lot more. Unseen papers, untranslated papers, unanalyzed papers, all coming your way at 10 p.m. tonight. Now, Nalin Kohli of the BJP, R Venkatesh leans towards the BJP on this. Welcome. Dr. Ajay Alok of the JDU, anti-BJP. Kunwar Danish Ali, anti-BJP, National General Secretary of the JDS. Saba Naqvi, senior journalist. And Alok Mehta, senior journalist, joining us this evening. Alok Mehta, very nice to see you coming back on the Newshour this evening. Are you convinced? Alok, let me start with you. Heard Ahmed Patel there. Are you convinced, or do you believe the Congress party needs to answer much more?
Certainly, Congress party or everybody, they should answer these questions. In fact, the BJP government should also come very much clear that what they did from 2013, 2014, 15, now we are in the 16. So I think they should clarify. And first, I will just like to mention one thing. In Bofor's case, Arnab, you remember, I think I should mention also the name. Arun Nehru was very close to Congress party at that time. And what happened? The BJP accepted Arun Nehru ultimately. And here also, what is happening? Air Chief, what you are talking about, the Air Chief Tyagi, his family, their name is there, but they are so close to the BJP people. So what is happening? All political
system, the BJP as in?
They are creating problem. They just encourage such people. The lobbyists are the agents. They encourage them, and ultimately some scandal come, and ultimately nothing happened. That's why still we are waiting who got the money in Bofor's. Same thing happening here. Nobody will tell you how it happened.
Why did
everybody, when they join the BJP, they become very clean. When they join some other party, in the Congress party, they say, okay, we are clean.
Okay. Well, joining us from Rome, before we go into the debate, is senior journalist Josephine McKenna. And Josephine, you've been following this as well. My question to you, in Italy, how big a news story is this? And are people talking about the political involvement and the political twists to this whole issue that is happening in India? Are people aware about it, and what's happening in Italy on the Augusta scam?
Well, it has had a lot of coverage in the recent past, and when the Milan court came down with its decision recently. However, the case has really been overshadowed by the much more dramatic case involving the two naval officers and the continuing diplomatic row that's been going on about their fate between Italy and India. And that has had a little bit more coverage today, as the court here ruled that one of the naval officers, Massimiliano Latorre, would have permission to stay in Italy and not return to India.
Yeah.
So that case has really overshadowed this one.
So are people in Italy aware about the scam, about the payments that were made by Finmeccanica? Is the role of public officials, politicians in India in accepting bribes being spoken about in Italy and in the Italian media, Josephine?
Well, I have to admit, in the last few days, we haven't seen much discussion about it. I noticed there were some media reports today about the row that broke out in the Indian Parliament today. But in general, the man on the street is so accustomed to the incidence of political scandals and political corruption here in Italy. I have to say that it really hasn't had a lot of coverage, and the average Italian probably would not be following this very closely.
Well, it has certainly been followed very, very closely here in India. Josephine, thanks. Now let's go across to R Venkatesh. R Venkatesh, did you find Ahmed Patel's explanation convincing?
Arnab, to be very frank, you could have rather well ducked your interview, then come on screen and answer your questions. What I could see is there was a lot of filibuster, there was a lot of angst, there was a lot of anxiety in his face. His body language was a dead giveaway that he wants to hide more than what he wants to say. And to me, I think this was what I go back 30 years, I see the defense of the Congress the same way as they defended themselves in the Bofors. And it's the same thing. We didn't get the bribes were not there. But let me tell you, as an accountant, every debit has an equal and opposite credit. Likewise, every bribe giver has an equivalent and opposite bribe taker. If Italians were giving bribes, they were definitely not giving bribes to the Peruvians. They were not giving bribes to the Nepalese. They were giving bribes to somebody in India. And who would be the person who would be taking bribes in India? Definitely not Arnab Goswami, definitely not R Venkatesh. They should be bribing somebody high up in the echelons of the government. And who could that be? And that is what is the Milan Court comes and tells you. And it says that Mrs. Sonia Gandhi is the spirit behind this government, and words to that effect, that it points out that Mrs. Sonia Gandhi is the key person to be tapped, Manmohan Singh is the key person to be tapped, Tyagi is the key person to be tapped, and unless we bring about, and I'm sure the government of the day must immediately bring about an inquiry.
Yeah, well, I presume that, but can you tell me? Let's get Saba and Nalin back into the debate. And by the way, gentlemen, don't wait for your turn, ladies and gentlemen. Come into the debate. Danish Ali, at any point, Ajay Alok, that you agree or disagree. Welcome to the debate, KTS Tulsi. The point is, Saba, don't you believe Sonia Gandhi was looking extra defensive today? No. Don't you believe Sonia Gandhi, in her response, once inside Parliament, once outside, was looking extra defensive? After all this entire scam, the initials, the large payoffs concerned, who on earth will believe, Saba, that a scam of this proportion was carried out without anybody in the Congress party, including Sonia Gandhi, knowing anything about it? Saba.
Absolutely, Arnab. I absolutely agree with you that it's going to be hard. Of course, as with all scams, they'll wait for the criminality and the trail of money evidence leading up to them. So this is, I'm in full agreement with you. But there is one point I want to make about this scam. There is something very odd. We've heard about defense deals. It's in the history of Congress. We've heard about defense procurement. But the central figure, this Mr. Tyagi, there's a very strange twist to this tale. He ends up being very close to the Vivekanand Foundation, and then the government is slow on this. So there is a strange angle to this whole thing. I'm in complete agreement. The Congress has a lot of questions to answer, but I would really want an explanation. He is in the advisory board of the Vivekanand Foundation.
So what you're saying,
provided talent to the Narendra Modi government.
Okay, Saba, let me analyze what you're saying. Let me analyze what you're saying. Get a response from Nalin then. What you are saying is that there is a foundation called the Vivekananda Foundation, which everybody knows leans towards the BJP, associated with the BJP. I don't know the formalization, BJP, RSS, they're close to the sun. Right? And you're saying that this person, Air Chief Marshal SP Tyagi, right, is associated with the Vivekananda Foundation.
Yes.
Okay. Can you tell me what was the role of the Vivekananda Foundation in the Manmohan Singh government? I'm not being able to understand your angle. This is the angle the Congress party fed all through the day today. Can you tell me this angle? Are you saying the Vivekananda Foundation was influencing the mind?
No, I'm not.
Oh no, one minute. Just Saba, listen. This is being fed by the Congress. First, let's be very clear about it. Let you and I be very clear. This is the propaganda machine of the Congress party, which has fed this today. It has fed it officially, by the way. You can check the press release. This is not unofficial. They fed this story that the Vivekananda Foundation angle is there. Now tell me, was Air Chief Tyagi a member of the Vivekananda Foundation in February 2005, Saba, when he changed the height requirement for this particular chopper contract to go through? And if he was not, can you kindly tell me what is the relevance of that potted analysis angle that is being fed by the Congress party, and why is anyone buying it?
I'll tell you.
Why are you buying it? Why are you buying that angle? Why are you taking it at face value?
Allow me to answer. No, allow me to answer. Can I answer, Arnab? Allow me to answer. You've asked a question. The relevance is to the fact that why has the BJP not prosecuted this matter? Why have they not? That is the simple question.
So your answer, Nalin Kohli. Nalin, listen. Nalin, listen. Okay, fine. Okay, Nalin. Saba throws a charge at you.
I've heard everything so far, Mr. Goswami. I have many points to say.
The principal protagonist of this scam, though I must place on record tonight, I do not believe that the principal protagonist of this scam, Saba, is Air Chief Marshal Tyagi alone, because I'm not foolish enough to think that in this country a 3,500 crore scam of a deal can go through without the involvement of politicians. You may feel so, I don't think so. Everybody knows defense deals have political imprints on it.
I agree.
But however, I want on this charge, I want Nalin to answer. Nalin.
I agree with
I would like to make a few points, Mr. Goswami.
Please, yeah, go on.
I will come on Sabha's point last, because I think it's not really central at all.
Answer it first.
Let's go one by one. I think today you have a scoop. Mr. Ahmed Patel is not seen. No, I'll come to it last, because that's a digression. Mr. Ahmed Patel doesn't come on television every day. It's a rare thing. For him, as Mrs. Sonia Gandhi's political advisor, to be willing to take more than 3 questions that he first agreed to on your show, where his party's people are missing out and not participating, boycotting it, is, I think, needs to be seen in the perspective. Something obviously worries the Congress party. Because if it wasn't worrisome, they would have dismissed it, and Mr. Ahmed Patel would never have been on TV. That's, I think, a critical issue we can't forget. Why? Because there is a conviction by a court in Italy after due legal process, with the evidence also mentioning the name of Mrs. Gandhi. I haven't read the order, but certainly newspapers have reported that as late as yesterday and possibly today. So therefore, there's something serious happening. Now let's go next. He makes a point to distance the party from the government, which is actually a false point. Because everyone needs to remember, wind back to Rahul Gandhi interrupting Ajay Makan's press conference while Dr. Manmohan Singh, as the Prime Minister, after issuing an ordinance to help Lalu Prasad Yadav, was in the US. He tore it and said, this ordinance is worth throwing into the dustbin, it's rubbish. And what happened? The Prime Minister of India, the government of India, reversed its decision. So that is fact. That is not conjecture. So the influence of the party is clearly was on the government. So why it would not be there? Now when we draw in Senora Sonia Gandhi from the note, which is part of that evidence pool, and you draw in this incident, it means influence in the government is there. Now, whether Mrs. Gandhi is innocent, not innocent, that will be adjudicated by court.
Would Danish, Ajay and KTS want to respond to that? Would Danish, Ajay and KTS want to respond to that? Otherwise, I have a follow-up. Okay, Danish Ali has a follow. Danish Ali.
Arnab, see, the people of this country wants to know where that money has gone. We are not interested, people of this country are not interested in only political mudslinging. Why till now, when the judgment of the Italian court has come, that Mr. S.P. Tyagi has not been even questioned, leave it his arrest. And whatever the BJP people are saying, the family, the AP, the family of Tyagi or family of Congress, even if you remember in Jain Hawala diary, the name of LK was written as LK Advani treated, but the court in this country has just thrown it in the dustbin. So you can't only go, you yourself is saying that he is accused, who has said that this is nothing to do, AP is nothing to do with Ahmed Patel, or family has nothing to do with Sonia Gandhi. In the same argument,
no, what he's saying,
you have
what he's saying,
the accused,
no, what he's saying, Danish, 1 minute, Danish Ali, watch the words carefully. Watch the words carefully. Danish Ali,
who was saying that
Danish Ali, you see that interview again. You see Danish Ali, you see that interview again. You see that interview again, and by the way, I still have the empty chair of the Congress party. We'll show it occasionally.
I am not defending
the question. One second. Danish Ali, listen. Danish Ali, on the limited point.
Where that money is? What BJP is doing for the 2 years? Why? What Saba has reported rightly, because SP Tyagi is associated, he has gone into the shelter of Vivekananda Foundation, because today everybody knows that in all key posts, the people are being recruited from the Vivekananda Foundation. Even the NSA.
Mr. Goswami, give him a copy of the Congress press release. He may not already have had it. He may. Ask him to quote from it because he is the de facto Congress spokesperson. This is the love of one extended family of one party for the family of another party.
I'm not
That's
here to
okay.
defend the Congress.
So I think because they don't have a Congress,
But
they
I
need to
want to
speak.
question the
I didn't
government
interrupt you,
of the
sir.
day.
Let me finish
People
my
want
point.
to
I'm
know
sure
where
Danish
the money
Danish
is
ji, you
going.
can have a... Yes, of course.
The question is,
Of course.
the question is,
With the clean track record of the JDS, with the clean track record of the JDS, I'm sure you have a lot to question about. Fair enough. Please go ahead questioning. Start the questioning with those who are convicted. And here is a case, a classic case. A bribe is given, the bribe givers are convicted. But the question that comes on who are the bribe takers, everybody from all over the world is jumping in. Somehow, no, let's not go down this. And the government of the day, which is obviously going to now investigate it, now there can't be a political vendetta argument on us because a court in Italy has already investigated and found that there is something wrong, something stinks here. And it is in that evidence pool that names are coming out. So now that political vendetta charge can't be used against us. Because if the agencies work, now nobody can say, oh, there is a political agenda to somehow harm the Congress party because the Congress party ran a political vendetta against the BJP.
A question to KTS Tulsi. KTS Tulsi. No, KTS Tulsi. No, just one point. I want to go to KTS Tulsi. I want to go to KTS Tulsi on one point. One second. Don't take all the time.
Sure.
KTS Tulsi. And Ajay Alok hasn't spoken. Can someone explain to me tonight the last thing, what's wrong with the Congress party? KTS Tulsi, the last thing that you do when you are caught in a scam like this is say that the scam kingpin has given me a clean chit. In this case, the scamster, the scam kingpin, the commission agent, the middleman, right? A person called Christian Michael has given the Gandhis a clean chit. The Congress party should be worried, KTS Tulsi, that it is a scam kingpin, a scamster who is giving the Gandhis a clean chit. They should not even talk about it. Why are they going around saying that Christian Michael has absolved the Gandhis? Isn't that more worrying? I would think that Christian Michael absolving the Gandhis would raise questions about their complicity rather than about their innocence. Isn't it worrying for you? I know that you support the Congress party, but please tell me, Christian Michael, who is the scam kingpin absolving the Gandhis, he's an accused in the case. He would want to cover his tracks. Does that itself not raise questions about the involvement of the Congress party and its leadership?
Well, I want to know firstly whether Christian Michael wrote a letter in November to the Prime Minister of India. And it's very critical to get to know as to whether that letter was written and what were the contents of that letter. This letter, which is shown in various television channels, also contains that last year the Prime Minister asked the Italian counterpart for assistance. I don't know whether this letter is true or false, but this is what is going around. Now, I want to say one thing. There is nothing for Congress party to worry according to my limited understanding. You see, each of the actions that the UPA government took between 2013 and 14 is inconsistent with the charge of bribery. It's completely, it flies in the face of common sense that a party which may have taken bribes.
Sir, I have a counter question before that. No, 1 second. To Mr. Tulsi, I have a counter question before that. Mr. Tulsi, I have a counter question before that. No, Mr. Tulsi, 1 minute. The question is to you. Counter question from me, sir. I'll take 30 seconds. I'll take 30 seconds. I'll take 30 seconds. I'll take 30 seconds. Just 30 seconds. Down to the clock. Please answer my question. Mr. KTS Tulsi, what are you saying? Tomorrow, right? If you were in the government of India, if you were, Mr. Tulsi, listen. I know that you're a lawyer. You're not just a lawyer, you're an erudite lawyer. And as I have known you to be a man of patience, please patiently listen to my 32-second question. Mr. Tulsi, if you were the Prime Minister of India and Dawood Ibrahim was to write a letter to you saying, Prime Minister Tulsi, I offer my help in the investigation of the 1993 Mumbai blast. Would you fly down an Indian government plane and say, Mr. Dawood Ibrahim, welcome, please come over. Thank you so much. This is exactly what I was waiting for. So you say Christian Michael has offered assistance to Modi. I mean, what is happening here? Second, if Osama bin Laden, right, were to write a letter to George Bush saying, Mr. Osama bin Laden, listen, President Bush, I'm Osama bin Laden. I offer my help in your investigation of 9/11. Would President Bush say, this is exactly, Osama, what I was asking for? I mean, I'm going to fly you down, you investigate the scam, we'll take your help, we'll absolve you as well. I mean, come on, KTS Tulsi, come on. Does that argument hold? Nalin Kohli was smiling there. R Venkatesh was responding. Pardon me?
I have a
but that's a fundamental question.
Here's a statement.
The argument is this. The argument is this. If you will permit someone to say that this letter, which Christian Michael is supposed to have written in November of 2000.
Oh God, you're on it again.
This contains a sentence. It contains a sentence that Prime Minister asked the Italian counterpart. Italian counterpart is not Osama bin Laden.
Sir,
why are you distorting things?
Sir, 1 minute.
The question
One minute. Okay. I
need to come in first.
I will let Nalin Kohli respond.
Two
but
comments,
before that,
Mr. Goswami.
before that, KTS Tulsi, Christian Michael is a criminal, not a government functionary. He's a middleman, not a government functionary. He is a commission agent, not an investigator. Okay, Nalin Kohli is responding. Nalin Kohli, Ajay Alok hasn't come in yet. Nalin.
Two quick points, Mr. Goswami. The first is, look at what the Congress party today alleged. That Prime Minister Narendra Modi entered into a deal with the Italian Prime Minister to somehow influence an outcome. That was denied immediately by Mr. Arun Jaitley, and thereafter, the Ministry of External Affairs has gone ahead and come out with an official statement. Shouldn't the Congress party apologize? They are trying to create a web of lies somehow to do it. Like anything else, send in all the other stuff. Something might stick. Let's save ourselves, because we do have a court order where bribe givers are now convicted and in which Mrs. Sonia Gandhi's name comes.
What's the letter?
The second point is on what Mr. KTS Tulsi said. I think Mr. KTS Tulsi, as you described him as an erudite lawyer, I think he has a weak brief. With a weak brief, what happens that you have to throw all the legal points to the dogs, and you need to then bring in the rhetoric. So you end up sounding like a spokesperson of a party, because you know that at the end of the day, I can't argue this legally, because there is a conviction, there is a court order, it has followed due process. India will follow in its own thing.
KTS Tulsi, I mean, can we move on from that paper, please? I have another question. One sec. R Venkatesh is coming in with Ajay Alok. R Venkatesh and Ajay Alok. First, Ajay Alok. First, Ajay Alok wanted to make a point. First, Ajay Alok wanted to make a point. I'll let him, and then you can debate with him. Yes, Ajay. You've been quiet so far.
Can I respond to Mr. Kohli?
No, I want Ajay to come into the debate, because Ajay is a little bit of a back foot tonight, having taken a pro-Congress position in the past.
Well, I will just say the politics of verbal diarrhea continues on from 2013. Just 2 points. The first point is, as far as I was going through the report of CAG in 2014-15, that says that the AgustaWestland deal, the government of India made an advance of 1,600 crores, and we recovered 2,048 crores with an annual interest of 16%. That says the money was recovered back to the India. Then also
doesn't mean anything. Doesn't mean anything.
Must be very
doesn't mean anything.
They haven't got any money.
If money which has been robbed is returned with interest, doesn't mean a robbery didn't take place.
I'm not questioning that.
I accept your point. I take your point. I take your point. Let me make my second point, which is the most important point.
Second point.
The most important point right now, when you were speaking to your Italian counterpart, she said very clearly that this news is not making any headlines in Italy. But this news is doing round the corners in India. Why?
Yeah.
This is the whole plot. This is the whole plot. This is the diversionary tactics employed by the BJP to plant this story and have a discussion around. Because for the last 2 years they are in the seat of the power. Why they are not doing anything?
Why Nalin Kohli, R Venkatesh.
They are not doing anything. Are they paralyzed? Earlier they used to accuse anyone that the government is accused of functioning like a policy paralysis. What they are suffering from?
Mr. Goswami.
Are they half paralyzed, or they are quarterly paralyzed? What they have become? Who stopped them from taking
Mr.
action?
Goswami.
Put them in the jail. You started rolling out 2G, 3G, 4G, Colgate.
Let me not drop down.
What action
Mr.
you have
Goswami.
taken in any of the scams in the last 2 years? Just tell me.
And they were all scams. Were they not all scams, Mr. Alok? They were all scams, and they are not a jungle raj as you have with the RJD in Bihar.
What happened in that,
Your problem
Mr.
is you have
Prime Minister?
initiated jungle
What happened
raj
to MSP?
And therefore you are talking of paralysis, non-paralysis.
What happened
you
to
have
your
paralyzed the
EMSP?
rights of the
What happened to your black money, sir?
You have gone ahead and
people are running away with the white money of this country. You are not doing about black money.
Seen that the crime
you are
graph has gone
answerless
up.
in front of the parliament. So
you have probably brought in also
and
the removing of drinking and brought in prohibition. Because those who will get involved in bootlegging, maybe they will benefit.
The country where the law has been passed, the judgment has been passed, is not discussed.
You say tonight the problem is the problem with this.
Keep on doing this, Mr. Prime Minister.
The problem is this. The problem is this. Ajay Alok.
This is what you are doing.
Ajay Alok is your leader.
Kohli, and you are doing it very nicely.
Okay, watch MR Venkatesh and Saba. MR Venkatesh, Saba and Ajay. Watch it. MR Venkatesh, Saba, Alok Mehta on the screen. Gentlemen, if you can please stop. The point that I'm making is tonight, in the pursuit of the truth, because people of this country have a right to know the truth, and in the pursuit of the truth, the only point I'm making tonight is this: that for 4 years, that for 4 years and counting,
trying to defend 2G downwards, which his own leader defends.
For 4 years, for 4 years and counting, Ajay Alok, if you can give me a second and half a second, please.
He will be a leader.
Ajay Alok.
Mr. Modi is.
Divert from the issue.
Ajay Alok, just 1 minute, please. Just one. Viewers, I'm asking you a question. Viewers, I'm asking you a question. My question to the viewers of the Newshour tonight is this. We've been investigating this for 4 years. Sabah Times Now has been investigating this for 4 years. For 4 years.
Yes.
In 2012, viewers, can I just say one thing? In 2012, Sabah, I just want to explain in 2012, right at the time that this show and this channel was breaking CWG, 2G, Devas, ISRO, and at the time when the Prime Minister was talking about the compulsions of coalition politics, at that time, we had uncovered some papers which showed that this same company, AgustaWestland, owned by Finmechanica, was offering 10 to 15% commissions for the purchase of AW101 choppers for the Delhi police. We had then gone on record to say that if there is a company which has a propensity to pay bribes, then it would have the same propensity in the context of a 3,500 crore deal. After all, if for a 500 crore deal you are willing to pay 15% commission, you will pay 20% commission because your nature is that of being a bribe giver for a 3,500 crore deal. The government panicked, it closed the deal, but it also closed the investigation. The tragedy of this country, Sabah, is that the Ministry of Defence ordered a CBI investigation into the deal in February 12, 2013. Nothing happened after that. Nothing. Not one file moved.
What is the follow-up?
What is the follow-up? Exactly. Alok Mehta. Alok Mehta. Alok Mehta, please. Alok Mehta.
Who introduced the middleman concept in 2000?
Okay, let Alok Mehta make his point. Alok Mehta, and then Sabah, I'm coming to you. Yes, Alok Mehta, what's the question? Alok Mehta.
Yeah, Arnab, that's why I'm asking that what is the follow-up? Because the SP Tyagi and the family, in your investigation also, or in the court judgment also, there is a mention, clear mention, the family of the Tyagi family.
Yes.
What action Modi government took. And the other point, what I am talking to Mr. Kohli, that when somebody talk about the family or the Congress party, but why you are not talking about the Manmohan Singh, the Prime Minister, who was there? But tomorrow maybe he will speak something. But Arnab Goswami, I think we should also talk about the Prime Minister at that time. What he was doing earlier and what now the Prime Minister, the government, what they are doing to stop this kind of...
I think a direct question has been put by a senior journalist on Newshour. I think it deserves an answer. And Nalin, you must explain. Saba has put the question. Don't brush it aside. Don't brush it aside. No, listen.
Yes.
Nalin, I want to tell you one thing. Nalin, I want to tell you one thing. The Tyagi brothers were questioned by the CBI in July 2014. The former Air Marshal SP Tyagi was questioned by the CBI. The alleged middleman Guido Hashke was questioned in January 2014. 3 former governors ESL Narasimhan, MK Narayan and BV Vanchu have been questioned by the CBI as witnesses. The CBI has managed to investigate a whole host of people. Please tell us why, Nalin, we don't have any clarity on any political involvement. If you are serious, if you are, in Vadra's words, serious about Vadra or Augusta, why is it that you talk about Augusta and Vadra but never do anything about it? Do you have an underhand deal with the Congress party, Nalin Kohli? To talk about it and do nothing?
Nothing else.
Please, Nalin, explain. Yes, Nalin, explain.
Not at all. Mr. Goswami. Now,
Saba
Mr.
will
Goswami,
respond after that.
You will
Yeah.
excuse my suddenly laughing because I found that funny the way you had used the words. But it wasn't to the questions or the seriousness with which you are asking the questions. One is, certainly not. There can't be a deal on corruption. Certainly not. And not of this scale. Number two, as far as this debate is concerned, this debate has just started. I think the Congress party also went in and moved in.
So we need an investigation, not a debate.
Parliament. While Parliament is on, I think you will hear a lot. Yes. No, hold on. I'm coming to that. And it is possible during this debate in Parliament, many things that are still not known may come out with regard to facts that the government would have with itself. So I think I would hold my horse and say that, that it's all over, that it's not. No, I'm sure there'll be a lot to share about it, including the investigation. But as far as the investigation is concerned, what the court order in Italy has achieved, in my opinion, is that now the tag of political vendetta can't come, and which the Congress party would have gone on and on. If there had been any investigation on, now that investigation as it proceeds, that cannot now come, because you know that there is it. Now, second is Saba has raised the question of the Vivekananda Foundation, and she is talking about SP Tyagi. I'm not aware. I'm not aware because I'm not associated.
You're not
I don't have
aware?
the information, but yes. That
You're
information
not
can
aware?
be freely obtained. I myself can bring it. And if I'm on I'm not aware of
what
Mr.
if
Tyagi's involvement.
No, Nalin, let's be logical.
So that's
Nalin, let's
okay.
be
I mean,
logical.
I'm not aware of
Let's be
many
logical.
things.
Nalin, listen.
But that
Nalin, listen.
information can be brought. There's nothing wrong with that.
Nalin.
I'll find out. And if it is there has to be an explanation for it. Of course there has to be an explanation.
Listen. If someone tried to
And if you want, I'll do it tomorrow on the news.
Nalin, if someone tried to put snow over the investigation, if someone tried to put snow over the investigation in the Congress time, the BJP put this whole investigation into the deep freezer. My simple question to you is this: possibly it went slow in the Congress time because Congress leaders thought we are going to get trapped into it, and maybe the BJP went soft because they thought, poor guy, he's got associations with our own very institute. So both of you have your hands in the cookie jar.
Yes,
in a way,
exactly.
both of you are linked
For
to
one
Tyagi.
reason.
What's Saba is countering. Saba's counter. Saba's counter.
It's not difficult to
Saba's counter. Saba.
Let me answer that straight.
No, Saba's counter.
Because you can't have it both ways.
Saba.
If I talk of the CBI specifically,
Saba, go on.
if I talk of the CBI specifically,
Nalin, I agree with you
under the
about a lot of
UPA
points.
in the Congress, when
Nalin,
the
I
CBI
agree
was
with you
castigated,
about a lot of
may I just finish
points.
the answer? May I finish the answer, Saba?
Let me, Nalin, you're not allowing me
No,
to
let me
say.
just answer this, Saba.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll answer
Can
both
I
the
just say,
questions
I
together.
agree
Go
with
ahead,
you about a
Saba.
lot
Sure,
of things.
go ahead.
Yeah.
No, Nalin, the point is, I agree with you about a lot of things, and Arnab, one thing that I entirely agree, Ahmed Patel coming on your show reveals how seriously the Congress party is taking it. He's come and answered, so I agree with Nalin on that point. Nalin, supposing there was a situation like this, where someone who was a central figure in a defense scam, where there is evidence of bribe giving and bribe taking, was then subsequently after the government went and joined the Rajiv Gandhi Foundation. Would you not take note of it? I mean, it's something. There's nothing criminal. Would you not, supposing it was the reverse, and that person went and joined the Rajiv Gandhi Foundation, it's a detail which cannot be missed.
I've understood the
please go ahead.
Yes, but you see, the Vivekananda Foundation is not. The Vivekananda Foundation is not headed by Prime Minister Modi or someone like that. The Rajiv Gandhi Foundation is on the Prime Minister, former Prime Minister, headed by Mrs. Sonia Gandhi, and has basically there. So there's a huge difference.
So how does
there
all
are
of this...
5,000 foundations. Foundations can have leanings left, right, center. But that doesn't mean that they are run by the organization.
MR Danish and Ajay Alok.
To the best of
MR Danish and Ajay Alok.
It was earlier head of current NSA, sir.
Ajay Alok countering you. Ajay Alok.
Arnab, I have to tell you one thing.
Just to finish the point on the CBI.
If
Just a
he's
minute on
so-
the CBI, Mr. Goswami,
if he's
so
so
that there is no
willingly trying
confusion
to-
on that. The CBI answer is you can't have the argument both ways. Under the UPA, the CBI was called a caged parrot by none else than the Supreme Court. Now the Supreme Court goes ahead and
If you're
keeps on
trying to
giving
get
case
away
after
from
case after
Vivekananda
case.
Foundation, then it's
So
not
to
going
say
to be
that
so
it is
easy for you.
politically motivated would be incorrect.
You might
Because
not be
the
knowing
castigation
Vivekananda
would have
Foundation,
continued
Nalin,
by
I
the
agree to
Honorable
that.
Supreme Court if they had reason to believe that investigations
do you
were
know,
not being
Mr.
done in a
Ajit
professional
Doval?
manner. They may be
Do you
stretched.
know Mr. Ajit Doval?
They may be stretched,
Our
as their
National
own
Security
director
Advisor
said today.
He was
that
heading
we
the
are stretched
Vivekananda
for resources
Foundation.
in terms of manpower.
Now I guess
Okay,
you can
Because the
recall
number of cases
Vivekananda
have
Foundation
increased.
more
Everyone
closely.
wants a CBI inquiry because they have faith in the organization.
Well, your CBI
Problem is you don't want to answer what you don't want to answer. When you get inconvenient, you don't want to answer. You said you don't know
Who's
Vivekananda
saying-
Foundation.
I mean, I've not heard what the question is. Who's
Prime
speaking?
Minister is not attached to it. Well, I'll
This
tell
is the
you,
coalition
you must be knowing Mr. Ajit
compulsions.
Doval.
Prime
He was
Minister,
attached with
ex-Prime
Vivekananda
Minister's
Foundation. He was
coalition
heading it.
compulsions
Now, I
of
hope
coalition
you know Mr.
politics.
Ajit Doval.
Now applicable on the
So now you
JDU
can understand
because of the
how
coalition they have with the
important the
Congress.
Vivekananda
Oh,
Foundation
that's
was there.
okay. That's okay. We know it's coalition compulsions.
No, don't talk
so
about
those are
JDU.
very
You don't have
sage
Emma,
words
Emma,
of
why
Dr.
don't you
Manmohan
tell that
Singh
Emma,
being shown
diversionary
in
tactics?
that sagacity
Arnab,
by
Emma responding to Ajay.
New crops of ghosts will keep on erupting.
They're not diversionary, it's a fact.
Arnab, there is a
that was
fundamental
one
Emma,
case of
please.
coalition
Arnab,
compulsion.
Emma,
Another
Why you
case.
delayed it?
They are both cases.
Why
Arnab.
you delayed it for 2 years? Why you delayed it for 2 years? Who stopped
Arnab, there
you?
is a fundamental.
Who stopped you?
I will put in a hypothesis. Let us.
Are you suffering from some kind of
Okay,
paralysis?
Yes,
okay. MR and then
You are
Danish.
merely putting
MR and then
truth
Danish.
to the sage words of
Arnab, no execution so far.
Arnab,
Where's the black money?
yours now being in agreement with the Congress.
Where's the black money?
So you are
White money is
incumbent
going
with
out
the
of the
scam
country.
MR and
But
Danish.
you must ask questions
What
of the
about
government
Modi
that does
Gate?
not
What
have a
about
single
Malya
scam.
Gate?
Arnab, now look at it. Arnab, please look at it. We are fundamentally different from what we were last week to this week.
The controversy
Let's
which
talk
has
on
no
Sunday,
meaning right now.
which is directly
What-
And in
connected
which
to you.
ultimately you will be nailed off.
Please understand what happened till last week was this government
make predictions.
had
Ultimately, you will have to be answering because you are holding the power. You are in power right now.
I don't know what your
Okay.
profession is, but you have to
Okay.
whatever profession you may
Now we
have.
have a court which is of the standing of a high court which accuses and confirms that there was a corruption, confirms that there was bribe giver, confirms that there were possible bribe takers. So there is going to be a fundamental shift. Now let us assume so-and-so was arrested or so-and-so was inquired. Last week, the whole sky would have fallen. People would have said, political vendetta. Here is a lower court which has exonerated even the bribe givers. Here is a court that says there was no transaction of anything illegal. Now you are inquiring people. This is pure political vendetta. But today, thanks to this expose, thanks to the media expose, thanks to Arnab Goswami, today what we are seeing a high court judgment of Italian high court, and that says there are names, there are clear evidences. Now it gives a crystal clear actionable point for the Indian investigating agencies, and from now on, even if the government wants, it cannot stand on any formality, any type of political fig leaf.
MR,
It has to go for the
MR,
jugular,
last point.
and it has,
MR, a last point that I want to make on this. And people say, why are you interested in picking up this case again? Just 1 minute. Just now. The point is, Danish, we'll have to investigate whether there's a link between Vivekananda Foundation and Tyagi, and if there is, Now Vivekananda Foundation has apparently tweeted. This is 1 second. A factual point that is coming in is that the Vivekananda Foundation has apparently said that Tyagi had joined the foundation in 2010, and within a week of the scandal breaking out, he was asked to leave. So this is a clarification that has come right now. So Saba, I think that explains your point.
Excellent job done by the Vivekananda Foundation, and it confirms the lies of the Congress for the second time.
Well, in that case,
same day,
in that case, Saba,
yes, third time. They also made a false allegation about the two prime ministers having a deal. The Italian Prime Minister and Prime Minister Narendra Modi, which has been denied by Mr. Arun Jaitley as also the Ministry of External Affairs. Shame on the Congress party for doing all this just to somehow protect the guilty.
I'll look at Indian Express stories in 2013.
Listen.
In 2013, look at the Indian Express story. I'll pull it on my iPad and show it to you.
Okay, now listen. We can check who was right or wrong. The question is, gentlemen.
Without checking,
Saba, listen. Saba, listen. If he was removed, he was removed. If he joined in 2010, he joined in 2010. The point is pretty simply this, and you can check out what they put out.
2013.
Okay, listen, Saba, listen, Saba. Hello, Saba. Why are you, Saba? Why are you? You know, we've done some fairly detailed work into this scam.
There may be a mistake.
We've done some fairly detailed work into this scam. I don't think we should be hiding behind the smoke screen of one fact.
Without pre-verification check.
The question is this.
Classic journalism, it does, may not continue in its old classic sense.
I said that this was the point that was being peddled by the Congress party earlier today.
Also.
The Vivekananda Foundation has now said that ever since 2013, Air Chief Marshal SP Tyagi is not associated with the Vivekananda Foundation in any capacity. This is a point which they have made, and since they have made that point, now Saba, you can call them and ask them whether what you said was right or what you said was completely wrong. Now the point is this.
By the stories, he is there in 2013.
Then you can check whether the story was right or whether the story was completely wrong. This is their tweet. That's not the point.
Well, Saba, you are a journalist, so you can do that entire check yourself.
Yeah, the
you don't need to depend on another story.
The question in this scam is, please,
not a government organization that
the
has
question is
notified
not
anyone.
Mr. Tyagi's relationship with VIF. The question is whether there was a bribe, and the bribe taker was she or he an Indian and controlling the UPA government. That is the question.
No.
The question is not whether Mr. Tyagi controlled VIF. That is the issue.
Danish, if I may speak to two people at a time, please, because 1 minute, Danish.
We all agree.
Danish, please. Saba, just 1 second. What is the point?
I just want to make sure the government is not going slow.
Yeah,
I agree.
Saba, listen. Saba, listen.
We are all exhorting you to go ahead.
Yeah, Saba, listen. 1 second, Danish, a minute.
The people who are associated with the Vivekananda Foundation, I'll give you an example. An appointment for an autonomous body was turned down by the cabinet secretary with a noting that the person lacks an administrative experience. But because he was connected to the Vivekananda Foundation,
Danish,
was turned down by
Danish, Danish, I think none of you, I put the signatures in the middle, the data in the middle, the documents in the middle. If I can speak to two people at a time, please. Just 1 minute. The simple point is this. Please consider some pictures I put on the screen of the documents that we have in this one case. And please ask yourself, Saba, what is, we've done such detailed work, a 255-page judgment, right, which goes into thousands of words, tens of thousands of words. Saba, let's do some journalism here. I don't want us to be swayed by any kite flying of any one political party. The journalism in this case is simply this, that why are we following this one case?
I agree.
The one case we are following is because, and so that you also know about it, in October 2015, the Enforcement Directorate attached the properties of the Tyagis on a provisional basis while looking into allegations of money laundering in connection with this deal. Viewers, I want to say something to you, and this is not just a conjecture. The point I'm making here is, it is impossible that this happened without political influence. This was a big scam, much bigger than Bofors, pushed through with political influence. In our country, it is generally believed at some level, BJP, Congress, all parties come together to protect themselves when it comes to high-level corruption. In this one instance, why is this man, Air Chief Tyagi, if he has done what he has done, if he has dishonored his uniform, if he has let down hundreds of thousands of servicemen, if he has sacrificed the very ideals on the basis of which the great Indian Air Force, the Indian Army and the Indian Navy and all our forces and our Jawans and our men serve this country, if this former Air Chief has done this, then I'm asking you tonight, what is happening in Lutyens, Delhi, that this man moves around a free man today? And would this happen unless some politicians felt that if this guy goes in, we're also going to go in? So let him be out, he stays out, we stay out. We pretend we are investigating this scam. This is pretense. Alok Mehta, you've reported in Delhi. Do you believe he would be out unless some politicians felt that he could sing? Are they worried that if Air Chief Tyagi is locked up tomorrow, if he starts singing, if he starts revealing names, the pack of cards will come crumbling down, Alok Mehta?
Certainly, Arnab. He is getting all the time the support of the political people, including BJP. That's why I'm telling you. You know, there was one member from the BJP who contested the election. He is very close to Tyagi. That's why I'm not talking on your forum, in your channel about this. Because that's why I'm telling you. Not only Vivekananda Foundation, he was close to the BJP people. That's why the process is going on, and still it will go on.
Yeah, precisely. Well, we put this document in the public domain.
No,
viewers, I want to share with you that we have some unseen papers in the Augusta files.
Arnab, I just want to make one point.
We have some unseen papers in the Augusta files, and it's very significant. Saba will talk after the break. You know, these unseen papers reveal the entire story of how the contract was got, how it was awarded, how things were compromised, and how the people of India were looted. On the other side tonight, for the first time, as part of our non-stop continuing investigation on the Augusta scam, something we've been following for 4 years, and viewers, in 2012, this company was issuing threats against us. Today, the truth has come out.
Thank you, Mr. Goswami.
And we are reporting so much more on the other side. Thank you very much for joining me on debate number 1 on the Newshour tonight.